What's up, everybody? So we are back for another episode, The Connors, Season 3, Episode 3, Plastics, Trash Talk, and Darlene Antoinette. This episode hit home for me because it was so real. And this is another reason I fucking love the Connors and I loved the Roseanne back in the day, because it's super relatable. It's like there's no topic that's not really relatable. And the whole Darlene situation was super relatable on all fronts. I totally understand where she was coming from. I get like that too. Like the same way Darlene is about her job and what she wants to do, I'm the same way a lot of days. And this episode put a lot of things into perspective for me too. The people at her job at Wellman were not feeling her because of her attitude. It's like she acts like she's above them, she's better than them. And this is how Darlene acted on the original Roseanne. Because remember when Darlene was going to school and stuff, she acted like she was better than everybody in that house because she was in school trying to do something with her life, and she felt like nobody else was trying to do nothing with theirs. So she felt entitled. She felt like, she was bigger than them. And she had to realize, like, you're not better than them. Everybody goes through life. Everybody goes through their own journey, what leads them to something. You know what I mean? Everybody has to find their own way. Basically, Darlene's co-workers were making fun of her, drawing little pictures of her, putting it in the bathroom. Because she would eat in her car, she would eat in the bathroom stall, but she would not eat with them. She would not get to know her coworkers. And Mark basically asked her, like, why are you not trying to get to know your coworkers? And she was like, oh, I have nothing in common with them. How would you know that you don't have nothing in common with them if you've never spoken to them? You know what I'm saying? She kept talking about I lived a different life than they have. What different life have you lived? They all work at the same job you do. They all are impoverished just like you are. So what different life did you live? Y'all have a lot in common. You just don't want to talk to them because you think that you're better than them, because you feel like you have goals and aspirations and you feel like they're working at Wellman because that's what they really want to do and they don't have any goals. And I love how Mark was sitting there talking to her like he was her therapist and stuff, like the way he crossed his leg and he was acting like a little Dr. Phil. That shit was hilarious. But yeah, Darlene went to work the next day trying to talk to the coworkers, trying to apologize to them. And one of the coworkers actually worked with Roseanne back in the day when Roseanne worked at Wellman. And she was just, disappointed that the daughter of Roseanne would act the way that Darlene acts, because Roseanne was a lot of things, but Roseanne was, nice to her coworkers for the most part. She did talk to them. She did laugh with them. She was one of them. She didn't act like she was better than them. Nothing. She socialized with them. You know what I mean? Because she could relate to their situation. They all related to each other. They were all working at Wellman because they were broke and needed to put food on the damn table. And the coworkers were just disappointed because Darlene, they felt at the time, was nothing like Roseanne. She was just, I'm better than you attitude. She didn't speak to anyone. Like, she was just acting so prissy, and they were over it. Because all Darlene kept talking about was, I don't really want to work here. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I want to be a writer. I gave up a career I love just to work here. And that coworker ripped her a new one and told her, well, if you don't like working here and you don't want to be here, then walk your ass out the door, because there's a bunch of people outside who would love your job right now. Because guess what? We're all going through a pandemic and they don't know when their next check is going to come. They don't know when their next meal is going to come. So if you don't want to be here, walk your ass out and let somebody else come up in here who needs a check. I so agreed with that because she read Darlene for filth and I was here for it. Like, it put things in perspective for me too. Mark is going through some stuff with the whole virtual learning thing because he was trying to tell Darlene how classmates' computers would freeze up and all that stuff. And he was really talking about himself because he has an old ass computer. And Darlene decided to buy him a new computer. She just told him, don't go, if it's a brand that you recognize, then it's too expensive. I totally can relate. I get where she coming from. Like, cause things, this technology and all that shit is expensive. I see, you want to know what's crazy about technology? Everybody going crazy over an iPhone. Let me show you something. This is my phone. This is not an iPhone, clearly. This is a Samsung A20. I paid this is my latest phone that I got back in like February, March, somewhere around here. I paid like $270, $280 for this. And people are really out here buying iPhones that cost like $1,200. They're spending $700 on it. I could never spend that kind of money on technology. Like, I just can't. Like, I can afford to do it right now. I can, but I don't want to. I'm not cheap, but I'm frugal. I pick and choose what I want to spend money on or what I feel is necessary. So many people out here, man, they just be spending this $1,200 on these iPhones. And I'm just like, you're not really buying a phone. You're buying the brand. You're buying the name. That's why those phones cost so much. Because the new iPhone 12 is no different than the iPhone 11. Same damn thing. It does the same thing. But yet they're charging $1,200 for it. I think that's ridiculous. I'm just simple. I prefer simple things. I don't need to spend that kind of cash. But yeah, I love the fact that Darlene was willing to buy Mark a new computer because her kids have never really asked her for anything because she couldn't afford to buy them stuff, So she's willing to take the money that she's earning right now and get her son a computer so he can get his schoolwork done because he's falling behind because he has an old computer. And you know how she's able to purchase him a computer? Because of her job that she hates. I get that she hates Wellman. I get that that's not her passion. You know what I'm saying? But like her coworker told her, it's putting food on your table. You know what I'm saying? Roseanne didn't work at Wellman because she wanted to. She worked there because she had to. She had 3 kids, a mortgage. You know what I'm saying? She didn't want to do it. She had to. And that's what we do in life. We do what we have to do in order to one day do what the hell we want to do. That's what some people need to understand. We're not working these crappy jobs because we want to. We love it. We have no goals, no aspirations. We're doing it because, hell, these bills don't stop coming in. And that coworker told Darlene, she was like, go home after work and after you pay your bills and go work on your craft. Go work on what you're passionate about. You know what I'm saying? That's what you do. And that was the smartest shit she said. Go do that after work. You're able to buy your son a computer because of this crappy job. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure a lot of us have worked jobs that we're not passionate about, that we're not happy about. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's paying our bills for the most part. It's handling our business. And that's what we have to thank God for, especially during this pandemic. Because you got people out here that, they don't know where their next meal is coming from. They don't know where their next check is coming from. The country may be shutting down again because numbers are spiking because of COVID. We don't know what's going on. Hell, this is day 2 and we still ain't got no damn president yet. They still counting votes. And the day almost over. The night is almost over. We still don't know who the hell the president is. Like, it's just a mess right now. 2020 has been a real SOB lately. It's been a real crazy year. And, right now it's going to get crazier. It's going to get crazier before it get better. But I believe it's going to get better. But, I've worked jobs. I work a job right now that I'm not, thrilled about. It's not my passion. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? It's a check. It's a check. It pays the bills. It helps. You know what I mean? And I thank God for it, even though, we all got jobs that are crappy and piss us off and stuff. But you got to thank God that you have one. Because people out here that don't have one, they're not getting a regular paycheck. You know what I mean? They don't know where their next dollar coming from. So you got to be grateful for the things that you have and work your ass off in order to do what you want to do later on in life. That's what Darlene needs to understand. And I'm glad Darlene went in there and she apologized to those people and made amends with them. Because at the end of the day, those people that she worked with, they have goals and aspirations too. Working at Wellman Plastics was not their dream. It's not what they wanted to do. But when them bills come in, you do what the hell you have to do, especially when you got kids. Do what the hell you got to do to keep a roof over their head and a roof over your head and food in their mouth and food in your mouth. That you do what you got. You got to do what you got to do. That's life. We're all doing shit that we don't want to do. That's every day. You get up in the morning and you have to do shit you don't want to do. You got to get up and go grocery shopping. You don't really want to do that, but guess what? You have to, right? Because you need food. You got to cook. You got to get up and have virtual meetings and talk to a boss and, do stuff like that. That's not really what you want to do. Most of us want to sleep in. Like this morning. I had to get up this morning, 9 o'clock in the morning, and talk to some people from my school. You think I wanted to do that this morning? Hell no. Not 9 o'clock. I wanted to sleep in. But you know what? I had to handle my business. That's life. That's every day. We always have to get up and rise to the occasion and do what we have to do. And that's why I love this episode, because it sheds light on that. You got to look at what's important. We would all love to just chill, watch TV all day and do nothing. Eat a turkey sandwich or something and just relax all day. But you can't do that every day. You might get a day or two out the week where you might be able to do that. But it's not going to be every day. You're not going to always get to do what you want to do every day. You got to do what you have to do. That's 9 times out of 10. You got to do what you have to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. It was funny because the coworker was telling Darlene how her mom said, she felt Darlene was going to be somebody special. And Becky was mad ass sitting there talking about something. Oh, what did my mom say about me? That coworker said, you want me to make up some shit? Becky need to go sit down. She know Roseanne ain't say nothing about her ass. Go sit down. Becky sitting there talking about, oh, I was a drunk and I was good at it. That coworker said, oh, your mother, she always told me that you used to like that bottle. Yeah, that shit was hilarious. Becky is a trip. Becky is a hot mess. So anyway, moving on from that, Jackie is pretty much doing whatever she can to save the lunchbox at this point. Ben had told her that a Thai restaurant in town or whatever was having big financial trouble due to COVID and stuff. So Jackie came up with an idea to try some new menu items at the lunchbox incorporating Thai food. Because since that restaurant looked like it was about to go out of business, she was like, let me capitalize on that. Let me create a menu with some Thai food up there. You know what I'm saying? So that way we can get those customers to come over here. Because the lunchbox is having a real financial hard time because she has to deliver all over the place and they can't afford a delivery driver. So she has to take her bike and ride around all over the place and deliver food because people are scared to go into the restaurant and eat. And, because of COVID, obviously. So, Jackie doing what Jackie got to do to keep the business going because she put a lot of her money into that business. Everything she had is in that business. So if it fails, financially, she's fucked up. She's failed. And she probably going to be the next person moving in with Dan. Shit, Dan already got enough damn people in that house now, Jackie failed. She got to move in too. I don't know how the hell all them people living in that house because we all know Roseanne and Dan house was never that big. I think they only had 3 rooms in that house. They had Dan and Roseanne room, DJ's room, and Becky and Darlene's room. So they only had like 3 bedrooms there. So I don't know how the hell all them people fitting up in there and where they sleeping. But I guess it's going to be a lot of, room sharing going on up in that house. So yeah, Jackie just doing whatever she got to do to keep her business afloat. And she just trying to not only run that Thai restaurant out of business, she trying to find other restaurants to run out of business too. Jackie said, hell no. She said, I'm about to capitalize off of this. I got to make some money. I got to pay these bills. So anyway, even Lil Mark trying to make some money and stuff. Him and Mary running around trying to sell masks that they created and stuff. I know that shit, right? Like, you got to be, little young entrepreneurs nowadays. So Dan is worried about Louise moving out and stuff like that because now she's been quarantining at the Connors and stuff. And now she's hinting around that she's ready to go back to her apartment and stuff. And Dan don't want her to leave. I said, okay, Dan, I see you. You know, He loved him some Louise. I'm happy that Dan is moving on with life. You know, I'm happy he found a new love, and especially after all them years he was married to Roseanne, because him and Roseanne was married for almost 50 years. And he found a new love and stuff, so I'm happy for him, you know. And him and Louise are getting pretty serious. But Louise had to break it down to Dan. Like, she's ready to go back to her apartment because at the end of the day, she's just an independent person. She does things differently. And she just likes her space. And I totally respect that, and I totally get that, because I'm the same way. Like, you know, you just like your alone time sometime. And her being at her apartment, that's her alone time. So I can't be mad at that. You know, can't be mad at somebody that want their alone time. I totally get it. So Dan, you know, he understood that, and he's all for it. But I could definitely see Dan and Louise, you know, getting together more serious. Like, I could see her moving in permanently, and her and Dan talking about marriage. I could see that happening one day soon, probably in the next season, maybe. Them taking that relationship to the next level. And I also think part of that is because she might be a little skittish about permanently moving in there, seeing as how him and Roseanne had that house for so long. You know what I mean? Like, so anyway, they were having this little poker situation going on since Dan's poker buddies couldn't make it or whatever due to COVID. So Louise suggested that the family do like a little poker night. I wish they would do more with DJ. Like, they would incorporate DJ in the storyline, like give him more of a storyline. Harris is all over the place. This girl is 18 now, talking about she dating some dude online. He married. I said, what in the hell? And where the hell is David at? Like, is he not a part of these kids' life? Like, where is him? Like, where is he at? I haven't seen him in a little hot second. Darlene need to get her daughter. Like, your daughter talking about she dating some married man. Darlene, you need to come snatch her. So they were doing the poker and stuff because Harris wants to be treated like an adult now since she's 18. So they were doing poker, and Harris lost $20 to Louise, and she got mad because Louise wouldn't give it back to her. First of all, you wanted to be treated like an adult, so Louise was just trying to teach her a lesson. Like, this is what happens when you play poker with adults. When you lose your money, you lose your money. There is no give me my money back. No, because you're not a child. You want to be an adult, so you're an adult. And that's all she did. She wasn't trying to be mean to her or nothing like that. She thought that they were getting along, and she was, you know, treating you like an adult. She didn't know that Harris would get so upset by that. So, of course, Dan told Louise just to leave it alone because, you know, Harris is a teenager. She'll get over it. But she wouldn't. So I'm glad Louise, you know, ignored Dan's advice and went to go talk to the girl. And basically, Harris is just going through a lot right now because for her to be 18 and now she's going through a pandemic, there's no jobs. There's a lot of uncertainty in the country right now. You know, she's been impoverished. It's like, you know, she just feels like there's no winning for her. Like, she just can't win. You know, so I totally can relate to that as well. You know, just feeling like every time you try to do something or try to get ahead in life, you keep getting knocked down again. I totally understand it. And I'm glad her and Louise talked and stuff, and they, you know, came to an understanding and they figured that mess out. Overall, I love this episode. I think this was a great episode. It touched on a lot of things, and I love how they're touching on this COVID pandemic and how it's affecting the Connors and stuff like that. Because you could tell they're getting frustrated, you know, with this whole COVID mess because everybody's businesses are suffering. Financially, everybody's just suffering. Job-wise, business-wise, personally, everybody just, you know, this quarantining is getting to a lot of people. You know, the whole cabin fever mess, you know, is frustrating. And this is what a lot of us had to go through in real life. So to see them go through this on the show and depict it on the show is totally great and realistic. And I love it. So yeah, hit the comment section. Let me know what y'all thought about this episode. I will see y'all all later. Hope you all have a great night. Peace.